Snake. And so here's my book, Dead Kingdom, that I told you about a couple videos. Well, I'm gonna read to the 3rd chapter. Yeah. I mean, the 1st and 2nd chapter aren't the most exciting because really no action happens, but once I get finished with the book, I'll read you. It's a pretty good book. I mean, nobody's read it except for me, and you guys are gonna be the first to know about it. In 300 BC, in a kingdom full of people, mean and nice, there was a family named the Napoleon family. This family was the greatest family and oldest too. This small kingdom was named Pholus. The city had the Napoleon's house near the walls surrounding the kingdom. The walls were built 200 years earlier to protect the people of Pholus. It was made from stone stacked 20 feet high. Moss covered the sides from aging. Guards walk in the hollow walls, stopping anyone from coming inside the kingdom. Guards with spears and bows stand on top of the walls. The guards wear brass armor and steel helmets. Their legs are covered by a skirt-like piece of cloth. Across from the Napoleon's house is the old alchemist, who is said to be 600 years old. He looked like he wasn't a day over 40. His face is smooth with a small beard on his round chin. His eyes are bright blue like the sky on a sunny California day. His nose is longer than most people's. His hair is a dark brown like a muddy swamp. He wears this purple robe encrusted with red rubies. He is usually barefooted. Nobody in town knows his name. Just to the right and straight is the farmer's market. It was rather small. There is only fish from the fishing company by the lake, vegetables and fruit from the small farm on the small hill, and meat such as pork and beef from the livestock farm on the plains. Next to the farm is the tailor, a small shack with no more than 16 feet of space inside. The dark wooden walls contain the sewer lady, Sandy. Her hair is blonde and down to her shoulders. She wears new outfits every day. Her eyes are dark green. She is very pale-skinned. She is about 80 years old, with a crinkly face. Her shoes were custom fit for her small feet. Her nails are as long as her fingers. Down the road, the blacksmith house. The air around there is full of thick of coal smell. Its steel doors shriek when opened. You could hear the sounds of hammers hitting hot, soft metal, shaping it into the swords the guards use. Blocks away is the doctor's. 1 block away is the doctor's. It is full of medicines I have never heard of. The doctor hides his face in a black cloak. Behind him, 6 sick men sleep like they're dead. Last there is the Holdenberry Trail, the trail I, Joe Napoleon, walks on every day. I am usually joined with my Cicely. My parents are named Shella and Maximilius. I have rather dark skin. My hair is black like night. My eyes are brown like mud. I wear the same rags every day, blue and green patched shirt and cloth pants. My sister, on the other hand, is spoiled. She wears different dresses every day. Her hair is light brown. Her eyes are light blue, a sign of respect in our kingdom. My dad, Max for short, has dirty blonde hair, a very fancy-looking outfit, and eyes as green as trees. My mom is very respected in the kingdom. Her hair is blonde, the color of sand. Her blue eyes are as long as the ocean. She wears a royal gown every day of the week. Let's see, where was I? Every day of the week. She has at least 600 gowns. See, I was found in the woods by these people when I was just 6. I survived 1 year by myself in the dark woods. Pretty good for a 5-year-old. My dad gave me a name. He came up with some really weird ones like Oddlike and Monsoon. until my mother suggested Joe Napoleon. As I grew older, I started to wonder if they cared about me. I was getting the suspicion because they never gave me any new clothes, and I was not outside of the house. Now that I am 17, I am allowed out of the house for 6 hours and not allowed to leave the kingdom walls. I am not the type that listens to people, so my sister and I have a little deal. She allows me to go outside of the walls to Holdenberry Trail if I do 2 hours of her chores. I usually do the chores just because Holdenberry Trail is the most amazing trail in all of the world. When walking down the gravel path, you see on the left of the trail apple trees that have a magical sparkle to them. To the right, a 200-foot drop-off to the sparkling clear water below. It is such a beautiful sight at night, too. Moonlight lights the night. The trail is as if it was glowing with light. My sister says she comes along with me to make sure I don't try to run away or get too close to the cliff. I think she just likes to see the beautiful trail. Chapter 2. This one's a little bit shorter. Yeah, it's much shorter. It was a typical Sunday morning. The sky blue, full of white fluffy clouds and birds flying in and out of the trees. Singing their lovely song. We go to church. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the church. Well, it is across from the farmer's market. Its white wooden planks make up the outside, with the coating chipped every couple of planks. A golden cross standing on top of the old building. A bell tower which calls all the people to the church standing behind it. Dangling inside the tower, a giant bell, the size of a horse, sways in the wind. 2 silver doors, decorated with pictures from the Bible, lead people into the outside of the church. Its lines of chairs and columns lead you to the front of the building. A tall statue across stands in the way back, and a platform that gives the beat as we play our song, and a pan flute that gives the beat as we sing our songs in the front. After church, we always go to the farmer's market, but today we didn't. Cicely was not feeling well. She was coming down with a cold and went home. On the way home, we passed the alchemist's house, and we saw him. My parents warned me about him and told me not to go near him, but he came to us and said, "Beware, beware the end, it's near." My dad didn't know how to respond, so he said with a confused look, "Okay, nice to know." I thought that was a little rude, but kept it in my head so I don't get in trouble. Cicely started to throw up, so my dad rushed her to the doctor. About a half hour later, they came back with no medicine. My mom asked, "Where's the medicine?" My dad stood, said frightfully, "I didn't get any. The doctor said they don't know what she has." My mom looked scared. She hesitated and said in a strong voice, "I guess we'll see what happens." I went off into Cicely's room and asked her if she was all right. She looked at me, blinked eye, and said, "Yes, I'm fine. It should go away in a couple of days." "What if you're not?" I said, scared for her life. "Don't say that. I'll be fine." She said about to tear up. I left her room without saying a word. I just wondered, is she going to be all right? One second. Forgot to put a question mark. Later in the evening, after Cicely went to sleep, my family went shopping without her. This is strange because we never leave the house without Cicely. An hour later, we got to the house. I opened the door. Old crickety door, and there was Cicely, sitting on the ground, playing with her doll Mom made her. 7 years ago, Mom made her 7 years ago. Mom asked, "What are you doing with your dolls?" "I was looking at them, and I remembered when you made me," Cicely said, coughing at the end of the sentence. I guess it reminded her when she was a little girl. I remember that she made fun of my clothing every day, but she stopped because after a year she really could not make any more insults about the same outfit I wore every day. After a couple of hours, Cicely said she was not feeling better, but worse. Her head started getting red, her skin very flaky, like shark skin or a lizard's. Her eyes started drooping. She said her head was pounding like a drum. Her forehead was burning up. Her arms, face, and legs started getting paler, more and more like a ghost. My mom was worried. She rushed to the doctor's as fast as light. My dad tried cooling her off with a wet rag. Suddenly she fell into the ground, like a man getting stabbed in the heart. They checked to see if she was breathing. She had been proclaimed dead. A 16-year-old girl who had been innocent had died. My mom looked as if she had been stabbed. "My baby, my poor baby," she said as she bawled her eyes dry. They had her body taken to our backyard and buried her body right in the middle of the yard. Well, there you go. The first 2 chapters of my book. So, yeah. Wait till next time. I'll read you the whole thing.